Hey guys, good afternoon. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you on a wonderful Monday afternoon. It is July 26th, 22nd, 2024. Great to be with you guys, whether you're with me at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 3 a.m., or maybe 12 noon, 12 midnight, or perhaps 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. It doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here. Do check out my hat, which says, the QR code says, believemeachieve.com. Check that out for more of my great inspiring creations to empower you and those that you care about so much. All right, guys. So the master topic for the week is, you've guessed it. The master topic for this entire week is the keys to time management. Okay. Now, when we think about this show today, because there's always got to be the show, right? So the keys to time management is very important. And so one of the keys, actually our granular topic, I should say, we're going to talk about today is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, and that's actually the show's hallmark today. And that, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering what that is, I'm going to share it with you right now. And it's a really cool one. It's something that you might not realize, but it's all part of the time management continuum, right? And that is stress management, as we had discussed previously. But it's time management in regard to being is because it's part of a pillar of time management. All right. So first thing is you have to identify your stressors. That's number one. You have to identify your stressors. And that's not a very hard thing to do. I mean, anybody can do it. Recognize what triggers you, what makes you stressful. Is it people? Is it things? Is it activities? And it could be working under deadlines, relationships, financial worries, right? Could be health, could be a lot of different things. So that's the first thing is stress management, okay? And identifying stressors. I mean, I think that's a very, very important thing. But a lot of people don't get it. And the reason they don't get it is because it's not something that's affected them like directly in their lives. But I got to tell you something, it can make a huge, huge difference in your life when you start to embrace these couple little things. And again, they're not hard things, but they're things that you've got to think about, because if you don't think about them, then it'd be like, well, how do I do those things, right? How do I actually do those things? And so understanding that stress management is a key to understanding time management. I think that is a really, really big one. But a lot of people, again, don't believe in this. They don't think it has anything to do with it. But I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it does. It most definitely does have something to do with it. And so if you can just realize that you're aware of what's happening, that can make a very big, big difference in your life. So that's the next point, which is to develop awareness. Awareness. In short, what does awareness mean? Awareness is to pay attention to how stress affects you emotionally and physically, right? Emotionally, like your mind, your feelings, right? And then physically, how it's affecting your body. Is it affecting your muscles? Is it making you tired? Is it making you feel empowered with your body? How is it physically making you feel? How is it affecting your energy directly? The next one is practicing relaxation techniques. Now, I'm a big fan of this. We're not going to get into it today because we do it all the time. Learn and regularly practice relaxation techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, or yoga. Well, I'm going to do one with you. Okay, it's a real short one. So what I want you to do is you're going to go ahead and inhale basically for the count of 3. And then we're going to hold it for the count of 3, and we're going to exhale for the count of 5. Ready? So we're going to inhale in 3, 2, 1. Hold it for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and exhale for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready? Pretty easy. And just that little awareness can make a huge difference on your life. Okay. I know you're probably saying it doesn't matter, but I'm here to tell you that it does matter. It really does matter. And the reason it matters is because it's about people, it's about you. Okay. And I know you're probably saying, like, how does this work? How does it not work? And I think it works because a lot of people don't realize why something is happening. And so when you make an awareness of something, right, you become dialed into that to a very high level. And I said this, whatever we focus on, we become, right? And so whatever we think about, we bring about. Wherever our thoughts go, that's where the energy is going to flow. Of course, you want to make sure you exercise regularly. This is something I think a lot of you know, but exercising regularly, whether it's taking a walk, a hike, a jog, a run, like I run every other day or so. Physical activity helps to bring down stress hormones like cortisol, and it promotes the release of great things like endorphins, which will improve your mood and make you feel a lot better. In the morning when I get up, I typically will do about 3 minutes of a plank exercise, and I just stay there, okay, almost like a push-up, but I just stay there very straight, and I stay there as low as I can to the ground, but without touching the ground. Okay, I do it on the carpet, and I usually do it just before I take a shower in the morning. And so the next thing I do after that is I will do some crunches. You do about 30 or 40, crunches where you're like, you're pulling yourself, but you're doing it nice and slow. You're not doing it fast. The next thing that I do is I actually do about 30 toe touches, and then I actually do 30 heel ups, and I feel really, really, really good. So it doesn't have to be anything this elaborate. It could be something simpler, but the key is to get into a habit and do it on a regular basis. Okay. A regular basis. And by a regular basis, I think it's important that you understand what that is. And that can mean a lot. And what it means is that you as a person, okay, you as a person are starting to understand what's in our world. Okay. And by knowing what's in the world, that can make a huge, huge difference. I mean, a really, really huge difference. So I want you to understand that what you do in your life happens because of the thoughts. Okay, that's very important. So make sure that you think about exercising. Make sure you do exercising, but enjoy it. Don't do too much exercising where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do more. See, you can support yourself on days even when you don't feel like exercising. So make it fun. All right, enjoy it. The next thing I want to tell you, and it's really important, is to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Well, is that like exercising? Well, exercising is one part of it, but it's not the entire piece. So, healthy lifestyle is doing things like not just exercising, but eating a balanced diet, avoiding excessive alcohol and caffeine, and ensuring that you get the right amount of adequate sleep for your body on a consistent basis. A healthy body is better equipped to handle stress, and it's also better able to handle any type of, let's say, diseases that might come toward it, or any ailments. You'll be able to just bounce back like that because you have a healthy body, and a healthy body has healthy cells, and it's able to attack things without even causing a blip to the rest of your body. All right, set boundaries. Learn to say no to tasks or commitments that overwhelm you. Establishing boundaries protects your time and your mental energy. It could be something as simple as your friend. It could be a relationship. It could be a family member. You don't want to be nasty about it, but you want to set boundaries in a way so that you don't feel like you're stretching yourself too thin. This is really key. In the office, it can happen. Oh, you could take another project. Well, no, I can't. I need to finish this one first. And it's different. If the boss says you have to do it, that's one thing, right? But most bosses are able to understand, myself included, that you don't pile something on someone's back if they can't handle it. So you try to make sure you give them the support systems so they can do that. All right. The next point, ladies and gentlemen, is to seek social support. Share your feelings with friends, family, or a support group and talk about your stress because this can actually lighten your burden and provide a perspective to you that maybe you weren't aware of before. And it can maybe educate others so they don't run into that same challenge that you're currently in. So I think that's a really, really big one. One of my favorites, ladies and gentlemen, and I say it almost all the time, and that is the attitude of gratitude. Practice gratitude. So I have John's alphabet of gratitude, which starts out with the letter A and goes to Z. So if we start with the letter A, we want to think of 2 or 3 things, but not just think about them. I want you to feel them. So let's say 2 or 3 things that I'm very grateful for. One with A is I am grateful to be alive, and I can feel it. Okay. I'm grateful to have all this air to be able to breathe in. I'm grateful for all the abundance around me that keeps compounding in such a positive way. See how that works? All right. The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, is seek professional help when it is needed. Okay. If stress becomes overwhelming or persistent, consider talking to a therapist or a counselor. They can often provide strategies and support you with a tailored approach to your needs. I think a lot of people don't realize that to be a kingpin in the area that we're talking about here, which is time management, you've got to get stress, you know, nailed down. If you don't, you're going to become really frustrated, and people are going to be like, I can't talk to that person. You've had conversations like this, right? You talk to someone and then they're blaming you for what it is they've done wrong. I think that's just such an oxymoron, but it makes them look good. So they do it, right? That's the thing. They do it. And so thinking about, you know, knowing when to get professional help. Now, I'm not saying go get professional help just because you're tired. No, you get professional help when you feel like there's nothing else you can do. Like you feel you're at your end and you just need help. All right. The last point I want to talk about, we talked about a lot of points today. That's practice mindfulness. So mindfulness means to focus on the moment. Right now, I'm here with you guys. I'm only thinking about you. I'm not thinking about what I'm having for dinner tonight. I'm thinking about you. All right. And so when you do one thing, it's important. We said this the other day, don't multitask, right? Because when you multitask, you're definitely not doing mindful meditation. But mindful meditation is just being cognizant of the moment of what you're feeling. Like right now, I'm sitting in the chair, noticing how the leather feels against my backside, which is obviously able to be felt through my shorts and then through my clothes and through my bare skin. So feeling that pressure, feeling the temperature, that's mindfulness. Focusing on your breath is mindfulness. Another thing that's very mindful is to be observant of everything around you. Notice the people. Notice the temperatures. Notice what's going on. What are people saying? Notice how you're starting to feel right now in the present moment. And when we focus on the present, okay, the future will take care of itself. I'll give you an example. Every time I go for a run, and I always go with a coached run with one of my apps. And so it starts off with some groovy music. And in the run, we talk about the fact that, we don't know if you can run the whole 60-minute run. But all I need to do is focus on just this moment, this breath, this step. That's all I have to focus on is this breath and this step. And when I do that on a regular basis, starts to really put me in alignment. Now, it might not happen immediately if you start running, oh, I can't do this. Just focus on the moment. Okay. So the keys to time management is what this whole week is about. Today, we talked about stress management, which is a big pillar under the keys to time management. We talked about identifying the stressors. We talked about developing awareness for yourself and others. We talked about practicing relaxation techniques. Another one, which I didn't tell you before, is you can tighten your body really tight, really tight, really tight, really tight, and then just let go. Take your body really tight. Just squeeze every bone in your body. Just squeeze every single bone, every muscle in your body. Just really, really tight. And then just like, oh, that feels really good, right? So relaxation techniques, exercise regularly. We talked about maintaining a healthy lifestyle, setting boundaries so that you don't basically overpromise and underdeliver. And also that can get into your stress and can affect all kinds of other things that can actually cause you to be disempowered. Seek social support. That's friends, that's family. Those are people that have maybe gone through this situation before, people that can help be your cheerleaders. Practice gratitude. Okay. John's alphabet of gratitude. Start out just going really A to a couple letters. If you really want to do this well, go through the whole alphabet. Okay. Every morning. And you can do it every time you put your watch on, and then at night when you take it off. So you could do it like that. It's going to take time, but you're going to get into a condition, in a state that your body's going to really enjoy and miss if you don't continue. The next thing we said to do is to seek professional help when needed. Okay. Don't wait till there's a crisis. Reach out for help when you feel that you can't do anything. Practice mindfulness. We went over a breathing technique today where we said basically inhale for a count of 3, hold it for a count of 3, and exhale for a count of 3. And doing that a few times will help you to get centered. All right. You can do biofeedback. You can listen to certain music, right? You can just practice being still. You can also maybe focus in on your heart, focus in on your breath, and just noticing how that changes you and where you are at the moment, because you've started to become mindful. Mindful is not something you learn overnight. Mindfulness is when you just forget everything else and you focus within. Does that mean you can't focus outside? No, you can. But mindfulness means that you are truly focusing on the present moment. Can you be mindful of other people? Absolutely, you can be. But again, mindfulness is not talking with you and then thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner, right? Mindfulness is not me going on a date with you and then me thinking about, well, gee, what's on TV that I'm going to watch as soon as I get home, or what song am I going to put on, or what book am I going to read? That's not mindfulness, right? Mindfulness is an art. It's something you need to practice, but the more you do it, the better you will become. When I do my run, I get mindful. I get into the moment, the music, the groove. And as that starts to happen, I not only condition my body, but I'm training my mind to be a focused ninja warrior, right? To be able to just focus on your brain, to focus on how I feel. How does my left foot feel when it hits the pavement, or my right foot feel? How do my sneakers feel against my feet in the socks? How does my body feel? You know, am I feeling great? Do I have any aches or any pains? How does the wind feel if there's wind outside? What am I hearing? Is there anything else I'm hearing beside my audio track that's motivating me to be coached and to run well? So I think a lot of people would say stress management has nothing to do with time management, but stress management is the number one, I should say one of the big number 1, 2, or 3 reasons why people are not successful. They don't know how to manage their own stress. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic, amazing end of the day here. I hope you'll scan my QR code and go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch you guys real soon. That'll be tomorrow. So take care and be well, everyone. And remember to be able to practice, okay? To be able to practice the keys to time management, one of the big ones is stress management. Because if you're stressed, well, you can't do anything, right? Have yourself a great rest of your day and night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.